Hi, Nicholas here. Today we are going to learn the C major scale in the most interesting way you've ever seen. And we're not just going to learn the scale, we're going to learn a few other techniques. We're going to learn how to learn the scale, a unique and different way to learn the scale. Okay. We're going to be doing ear training. At the same time, we're going to be killing two birds with one stone. Three birds with one stone. We're going to do melodic training, all from the C major, just by learning the C major scale. So this is an exciting first video of 12 other videos covering each key. They're going to have a very similar format, and take note of the chapter sections because all the next 12 videos, the intro is going to be very similar, so you can skip straight to the nitty-gritty on the next videos. So let's get to it. And welcome to the Akousunesis Method. Key of C. Okay, very quickly before we start, these PowerPoint presentations are available as PDF files. Just in the description, just follow the link below. If you have any questions about anything musically, just either ask me in the description or email me personally, and I'll do my best to try to help you and direct you to the solution. So help me help you. All right, lesson 4, how to play and visualize the C major scale. And my friend is very excited. I'm very excited about this lesson because you're going to learn something that you've never seen. Everyone's seen the C major scale, of course. However, let's continue. Okay, the first thing you probably have never seen is the Akousunesis method does not use traditional finger numbers. Okay, we play scales. We identify our fingers as just thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky, okay, on both hands. The L means left hand, the R means the right hand. We're going to drop the L and the R because we usually talk about one or the other hand. Okay. Matching fingers to notes. We match our fingers to our notes. So RT1 means right hand, thumb, and the 1 does not mean the finger 1, it means the interval 1. So if we're talking about a chord or the C major scale, we're talking about the 1 is the C on the C chord or the C major scale. We're talking about 1. Left pinky 1 means your left hand on 1. Okay, if it's the C major scale we're talking about, it's going to be the C. If it's the A scale, it's going to be the A, and so forth. That's how we name our fingers. Visualizing the C major scale. Well, this is the easiest scale to visualize because it's just the black notes. Okay. In my book, part A, I've got a visualization section. But with these videos, I've combined both the visualization and learning the scale together. So you can visualize the scale first, and then it will make it easier for you when it comes to learning it. So this is easy. There's no black notes, it's just the white notes. And you know where C is on your keyboard, and that's where the scale is going to start, okay? Easy. So the right hand finger placement, we have a diagram, and let me explain this diagram. These finger placements for your right hand works for C, G, D, A, and E, but we're just going to look at C today. First thing I want you to take note of, have a look at the diagram. So we go from follow the arrows, right? The first row of hands is going up the scale. So that's the second hand. Now that's the third hand, and this is the last hand on the right. And then coming down, this is the last hand on the bottom row right. Then the third from bottom right, and then coming down. So just follow the arrows. That's straightforward. Okay, I want you to note, have a look at the first hand, top left. Can you see the ring? The middle finger says middle, and it's got we call that a swing point, a little arrow, and the 3. The 3 is the interval. It's not the finger number. I know it lines up with traditional finger numbers in this particular case, but it's not the finger number, it's the interval 3, which happens to be the note E, okay? So this is the first adjustment that if you've come from a traditional background with the Akousunesis method, you have to adjust. So you're just gonna practice and you're just gonna scale thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, ring, middle. Okay. So I want you to note on the first top diagram. So we're just going to call these 1, 2, 3, 4, top row, 5, 6, coming back down, following arrows, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to see middle on the first diagram. On the second, you're going to see ring, and then the third diagram is middle. Right, the third hand, I should say, is middle. So we've got middle, ring, middle. Now you see on the bottom, it's highlighted middle, ring, middle. These are the key elements you got to remember to learn this. Now let me explain further. Let me put the right hand down, okay? You can see. So we're just going to play this scale for now, just straight going up, all right? And we're going to go 2 octaves, okay? We're going to go 2 octaves. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to sit and how to place your hands because there's a million videos on those, okay? I'm just teaching you something new that you've most likely you've never seen before, okay? In the next few pages. Hold your horses. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So have a look here. We call this, in this method, a swing point because have a look what happens. We're swinging on the third. Now, you need to know and remember which hand, when you go up the scale, right, you need to know which finger to stop on and to swing, right, which happens to be the middle finger. Because we can keep on going to the pinky, right, then there's nowhere to go, right, and you won't swing on a pinky, that's extremely awkward, right. So we swing on the middle finger, right, going up. So then we bring our thumb underneath and we line up our hands, right, all the other notes, and we keep on going. And then when we hit the ring finger, ring, so middle ring, we swing again. Because we can keep on going, we need to remember that we're going to stop there, right? And we swing and we land, and now we remember the middle again. We remember we're going to swing again, middle, and then we swing, put our thumb, and just complete the scale right up to the end and come back. Now, when we're coming back, right, we're going to remember, okay, have a look at the bottom diagrams. Can you see the middle finger now on the third diagram bottom right, okay, is your middle. And then it goes to, which is the interval 3. Then it goes to the ring finger, which is the 7, and then back to the 3. Now, this is an easy scale to remember, okay? However, the approach and the technique to remember this is the most important because they're going to get harder, the scales, right? And by focusing on this method to remember it, it's going to be much easier for you to remember the scale with both hands and then bring them together, okay? So you've probably never seen this, talk about this before. I've never seen it anyway. Maybe someone's ever mentioned the way you do this, but here we go. So middle, right? We're swinging. We need to remember that because we could keep on going and we need to know to stop. So middle, ring, ring. Okay? Coming down, middle, ring, middle, and back. Okay? So that's the idea. And throughout all our learning our scales, we're going to have either middle, or ring, middle, ring. Okay? It's either going to be one or the other on all the scales and all the different hand positions. Okay? These positions only cover these notes here. So, all right, so let's continue. So the left hand, we have middle, ring, middle. Let's look at the left hand. Now, I didn't mention the formula on the top, but let's have a look at that. So it just means pinky 1, right? Pinky 1, ring 2, middle 3, index 4, thumb 5. Then it's got M6. M6 means middle to the 6th interval, right? Now, there's nowhere else, right? You're swinging on the thumb, but you need to know where to land on now. When we're going up, we call that the 6 on your middle finger. So we go up to the 5, we swing on the 5, but we don't need to remember that we swing on the 5 because we've run out of fingers, right? What we need to know is the landing point, okay? So the landing point could be a 4th finger, which is a little awkward, but it could be a 2nd finger, that's used often. But with our scale here, we're landing on our middle finger. Now, you noticed I said 1st finger and 2nd and 3rd. That's because I came from a traditional background. So ignore that. and we've got to practice saying. So we're going to swing on the thumb, but we're going to land on the middle finger. Now we're going to go all the way to the thumb. Okay. Now there's nowhere else to go, but we have to know where to land on when we move our hand over. And it's going to be ring. And then again, it's going to be the middle. And we just finish the scale. Now coming back, we need to know the swing points. So going up the scale, it's the landing points, right? Coming down, it's the swing points. The swing points have the little arrow under them, and the landing points don't. I want you just to notice going up, have a look, it's 1, 6, 2, 6. Coming back, it's 6, 2, 6, right? And coming back. So they're the same fingers, same intervals and fingers we swing on going up and down, right? So that's interesting to note. So coming down, excuse me. So coming down, middle, ring, middle, okay? Middle, ring, middle. Going up, middle, ring, middle, to the end, coming back. We've got to know now where we swing. It's middle, ring, middle, ring. Sorry, middle, ring, middle. That's it. And we end. Okay, so practice that. Right hand, middle, ring, middle, middle, ring, middle, back. And I want you to say that too. Middle, ring, middle. So when we're coming down, right? So when we're coming down, middle. So we're saying middle almost straight away when we're rolling back on the left hand. Middle, ring, middle. So that's what we have to remember when we're going up. Middle, ring, middle, and middle again. Ring, middle, and back. Okay. Now, let's get to exercises. We're going pretty good. So play each note of the C scale going up 2 octaves. Okay. Now we're just going to learn the intervals, and we're going to focus on the swing points as we just showed you. Okay. And so we're just learning the scale outright here, but we're learning the intervals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Right? 1, 2, middle, 3, 4, 5, 6, ring, 7. So we swing. 1, 2, 3, middle, swing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4. To the thumb. Now coming back down, we need to know the landing points, which is the 3rd, middle. 2, 1, then 7. We're going to come on the 7. We need to lower landing point coming down with the right hand. And it's the 7, right? 6, 5, 4, landing point, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so do you understand why we have to remember the landing and swing points? Very quickly to recap, when we go up, right? Okay, we can keep on going to the pinky, right? And then we're stuck and nowhere to go. So we need to remember going up the scale where to swing. So we remember the swing points: middle, ring, middle, ring. Coming down, right, on the right hand, we need to know where to land, because even though we swing on the 5, on the thumb, it's the last note. We can't go, we run out of fingers, right? So we need to know where to land, because we could land with a 2nd finger, we could land with a 4th finger. But with this scale, we're going to land with the middle, right? So we're getting used to this middle ring finger, middle ring coming down the scale. And that's how the muscle memory kicks in too. Now, interesting with this, you're going to learn with muscle memory, but when we're going to try to break it to make sure you're not relying on it. okay? And I'll show you how to do that. But firstly, let's go slowly with both hands. Now, the way you join both hands together is you practice right. Get it really smooth, right? Really, really smooth. And then with the left hand, practice. Get it really smooth. Don't go faster than this. Okay? We just want to go slowly. Always go slowly. And we're even going to go slower when we're doing our ear training on this. So, what we need to do is, we're shifting our gaze from left to right. Left to right. Now, it's going to be a bit harder because now we've got middle here, middle up here, then ring up here. We're putting them together. So we've got to shift our gaze and concentrate. So the first thing, we're just going to go up to the 5 fingers. Now, you notice on the left hand, right, it goes all the way to the thumb. So your first gaze is going to be on the right hand. You're going to sort of focus on, it's the middle right, right? RM. We're going to focus on that. That's our first swing point. So we're going to move up together. We're swinging now, right here, on the right hand. Now we're going to, once we've landed, once we've swung on the third and we're down and we're here, we're going to shift our gaze to the left now and concentrate on the landing middle. So it was a middle swing here, and then here it's going to be middle landing. Right hand middle swing, left hand middle landing, right? So we're shifting gazes and we're going slowly, right? So if it's the first time you ever joined your hands together, make sure you practice right hand, left hand, and then go really slowly. Swing on the right, middle, right? Swing. Landing on the left. Now, what happens here, right? Now, when we're here, okay, you need to know we're on the ring on the right, okay? Okay? So, and the thumb here is going to go, we need to have a look at this. We're going to swing on the right then the left, so your gaze will stay quickly. So your finger's over there now, there, and your thumb's there. So we've landed on the thumb, but we swung on the 7th, on the right hand, and on the left hand, we're landing on the ring. Right? Middle ring and then middle again. Right? So the concept is we're shifting our gaze and we're going slowly. Now, the way most people would learn this and is just practice and bring them together, right? Right? And all right, so I stuffed up too. So when you go slowly, right? Let's go. What you're trying to do is, we're trying not to rely on muscle memory, right? We're trying to go slowly, right, to see if we understand the concept of how to remember it. Now, this is going to help you a lot when you go learn more harder finger placements for some of the other keys, okay? So, right hand, middle, left hand, middle. Now, this bit's always the tricky one here because there's two turning points very quickly. So we got swinging on the ring on the right and then swinging to the ring on the left. And then the middles. Middle on the left coming down, then landing on the middle, then thumb, both thumbs, then ring on the right, swing middle on the left. So I'm going slowly and working it out slowly. And then you can go fast and rely on your muscle memory, okay? So that's how we learn the scale. Ear harmonisation training. Now, what we're going to do, we want to learn scales and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So what we're doing with this exercise, with your left hand, you're going to press the note C, and you're just going to let it ring out, okay? So you 1, and now we're going to learn the intervals too, right? because you're familiar now with playing this scale, all right? No big deal now. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. We're going to say it first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. But we're also going to shut up because it's ear training and we need to listen to it, right? And we're going to say it in our head, right? So when you say it in your head. So you're saying the numbers in your head, but you're allowing your ear to hear the note too. Now, this is harmonisation because this is like if you have a chord on your left hand, we're playing a melody over a chord, right? That's where we're going to get to. So we're just listening now. Now, you can do this the same with your right hand. But when you're playing songs, the melodies on your right is the highest note that you can hear. So it's more beneficial in this exercise to do with your left hand. Okay? That's how we do that exercise. And we can go up 2 octaves too. Right, continue. Tonality training. Okay, with tonality training, we're trying to get our ear used to the whole key. Right? Now, this happens naturally. You don't really need to do a lot of tonality training. The more songs you learn, you'll get to hear the key, you'll get to hear the notes come out of key. So, but this is a good way to sort of get things moving. All you do in this one is hold down the sustain pedal while you're playing. Now, you want to do that with the right hand and not the left hand down here or even down here because it becomes too muddy. And it's not the best training for your ear when it's too muddy. You want to if you want to practice your left hand, you can bring it up here if you like. Or here is hold down the... right hand. And it's like a drone sound, okay? So that's ear tonality training, right? So there's another exercise you can do. Exercise interval recognition training. Okay, so we want to recognize the intervals now. So we press C and we press C up here. That's an octave, okay? It's the same note. It's an octave. Now, this is a second. We're going to press the left note at the same time as the right note. That's a second. That's a third. That's a fourth. And we're listening for the sound. Now, this is very important to get this in your ear. You will learn, it'll go in your subconscious the more you do. But if you're going to be a songwriter, right, you want to know these because, and how they feel, the sound of the feeling. And when you learn modes and all that, they're the triggers of a mode too. For instance, a D minor there with a minor second is a beautiful sound when you play it here. It's a very sad sound, and these are the moods you're going to get when you practice this. And also, we'll do this in melody training in a sec too. I was going to mention something, but we'll do it then. Right, so we're just listening. So that's a 5, 6, 7. Now, we might as well, with the right hand, play within the scale too. So 1, 2, 3, because we want to practice our scale at the same time. So, and our finger numbers, okay? 2, 3, 4. Now, the reason we play it, because when we're playing it together, it really brings out that interval. If we're holding it down, it's not bringing the interval out as much as when we're pressing it together. Okay? Next, melody training. This is fun. Okay. Now, we're going to give you some constraints, and then we're going to release some of the constraints for the next couple of exercises. The constraints are there to help you learn some particular task. if you have too many options, right? Excuse me 1 second. If you have too many options, sorry, I have to blow my nose. If you have too many options, it makes learning a bit more difficult because there's more to remember, right? And it takes away your focus. So the first constraint we're going to do, we're going to play a melodic progression using only notes in the key signature. So in this case, it's going to be C, okay? You can't skip notes with your melody. So you've got to move up the scale, right? Now the timing can be up to you. It doesn't have to, it can be any timing you want. Okay. When you're doing that also, I want you to look down at your hands, right? And with the left hand too, I want you to press the C. Now, when you hit that C, it can be anywhere you want that you want to put a feeling into this exercise. For instance, if I want to sort of have a more dissonant feeling, I'll put it on the second there. And I want you to look down and be aware of the notes you're pressing, not the names, the intervals. So 2, 3. But you don't have to say 2, 3. Just in your head you can say them or be aware of them. So you're going to go up 2 octaves and you're going to eventually reach. Now it's very restricting the melody because with this exercise we can't skip notes in this particular one, but we will in the next one. Okay, the correct fingers must play the allocate. So eventually you'll reach up to 2 octaves. So you're going to keep on flowing. You can hit the same note twice if desired. You want to hit 2 octaves, and the correct fingers must be used with the scale. So we're going to use the fingers that we've shown in those finger diagrams in this particular exercise. And that left note there, we're going to use that, and we can bring it in wherever we want. Okay, that's this exercise. All right, now we're going to loosen up a little bit with the constraints. You will play a melodic progression using the notes of the scale. Okay, you eventually reach 2 octaves. The correct fingers must you must play with a correct finger allocation, but you can skip notes. All right, so and again with the left hand, put the C in. Now we're just doing C, so we're not changing any other notes on the left hands. Now, can you see how I did the pinky there? It's so natural you want to play that pinky there and that. But this constraint, right, we're going to loosen that up too, don't worry. Because what we're doing here is we're practicing swinging. Because when we're playing a melody, we could be doing all sorts of stuff with our hands, and we've got to be pretty nimble with working out our fingers and where they're going, right? So we're constraining ourselves and we're tempted to hit the pinky on the F, right, on the 4, right? So you're a bit limited because you might want to do this. You might want to jump a 5th, and it's a bit hard to do that or do. That's a big stretch there. Okay, so we're constrained for a reason. Okay, keep on going. Melody training continue. Song training. Now we've really loosened the constraints up. You can play a melodic progression using only notes in the key. That's it. The only constraint is you stick to the notes within the key signature and use your fingers to feel comfortable. So you can move any fingers you want any way you would like. And this time, with the left hand, we're going to add in the 5th as well. 1, 5. Okay? See, every excuse me with this cough. I'm getting over this cold. It's taken a while, but it's get it going. See how my hands are lined up on the left? So you can use it, put in the fifth too if you like. So you can do anything now with the right hand, okay? You're really freed up. Thank God, eh? Thank God. But those constraints are going to help you get your fingers nimble. They're going to give you a good understanding of intervals. They're going to do a lot for you. But you want to get to the point where you're just free, right? Free like a bird. Questions and answers. We've reached the end of the video. I'm not sure how long this has taken. These videos will get probably a bit more precise and a bit shorter. And I'll have chapters as well. So you can skip the bullshit if there's any. But I think you've learnt a lot in this video. We covered a lot. And that's going to be the format for the next 11 videos, okay? Question and answers. If you have any questions and you want to be in these videos here, right, email me them, okay? And I'll answer them. So for this time only, I'll answer questions for people who've bought the PDF. You don't have to buy the book, just for the next couple of lessons. But I want to work with sincere people. So if you really want to learn, you've got to put the commitment in to purchase the book. Now, it's a living document, okay? So I've already got revision 1.1 I updated. So anything I can improve and any feedback, and you think, oh, that wasn't very clear, I'll go over it and see it. See if I'll reread it again, which I've reread it about 50 times, but reread it again. And if I can improve something, I will, okay? So, and maybe add a new chapter, and you can get the revisions for free. Once you pay $25 for the initial part A, any revisions I'll just email to you directly, okay? So, Con, how many key signatures are there? Okay, I think I might have mentioned this before in another video, but it's a very good question. In our method, we're just going to have 12, right? We know in traditional notation we have minor keys, okay? But a minor key is just the Aeolian mode, right, of the C Western major scale, or Western major scale. And there's 3 versions of it. We've got the natural minor, we've got harmonic and melodic minors, right? But so for some reason, we have, you know, some people say there's more keys, there's 24. Some people will say there's some other keys as well. But I've never heard any good explanation why those exist. And it's confusing too. It's easier to understand modes than it is to try to remember new keys. If you know the C major scale, you automatically know not only the Aeolian mode, you know all your modes. You know the Dorian mode, and the Dorian is another sequence, a melodic sequence of intervals, okay, to know. And so you're going to learn all about modes in coming lessons. So even though we see in classical it's in C minor, or it's A minor, it's actually the key of C. A minor natural, right? But we have A minor harmonic and we have A minor melodic, right? We might have a C major chord here, right? If we flatten the third, right? So it's Ionian flat 3. Ionian is the first mode, which is the C major scale. Ionian flat 3 gives you a melodic, C melodic, C minor melodic. Okay, so a lot of these things you're going to learn in the mode sections. They're a great way to compose, tools to compose songs. They're very useful. And I've created my own method of explaining these in the Akousunesis. It's in part A of my book. It's in mode sections. It's tricky, right? It is tricky, but I've made it as easy as possible. So I've given that to students, and they've come back and have said to me, now I understand modes, which is really nice feedback, really nice feedback. And I do try to explain them the best I can. Okay, in the next lesson, you'll learn how to visualize and play the G major scale. So we're going to move on, 12 keys. And you'll learn how to create melodies, just as we did in this video. So we're going to go through each one. So remember, in the next video, I'll have chapters, and you can skip the intro. You can go straight to the nitty gritty. You can jump to the exercises. I'll put them all in the chapters, okay? That'll make it easier for you to remember. End of lesson. The PDF of this is $5, okay? Australian dollars. You really helped me out a lot by purchasing the PDF of this and holding it as your little library. But email me too. So you just go to my store to purchase it. Email me that you've done that, if you've purchased, and I'll put you on my email list. I won't spam you and never, ever spam you with anything. The only thing I'll ever do is respond to your email questions or give you a latest revision of a book if you've purchased the book. But I'll never send your information off. I won't tell anyone your name, your username. I'll be able to identify you in the comments. If you've got comments, I'll be able to put you first, right? Answer your questions first, right? Because you've paid. You're my student. You pay for the book. I'll consider you as my student that I can teach you how to play piano, right? So that's it. Thank you, and thank my friend. Some exciting drawings are coming my way. My daughter's working on that I'm going to put on my presentation to make it a bit more interesting or looks better. I'm trying to right now I'm blabbing on, so see you later. I'm trying to improve these videos each set at a time. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. G. We're doing G next. Bye. What are you telling them? My God. No one told you can talk. Okay, thanks for coming. Get out of here. Quickly.